tell you the truth, um, I think games have to push the graphics even further. Um, PS4 and Xbox One, even PC, but in other words, I think they're doing good, like with Grand Theft Auto 5, all that levels and exploration, but it's just not, it's just not enough. I mean, there's a lot of variety, but they need to push it to where you have like infinite options, infinite places you can go. The map is like infinite, you can go to, and you can choose like infinite stuff, and of course, push the graphics even further. Um, Still winning on than another Resident Evil, because I love Resident Evil game. Um, but it's not always about graphics too, because I mean, Resident Evil. I love the Resident Evil games, probably forever. Like I'll love the Metroid games and the Mario games forever. But um, if you really, I think to really push the graphics, I mean it's impressive. Some games on the next gen systems, but I mean, like if they do they mean to make Grand Theft Auto. This have like infinite maps, online, infinite choices, options. The more you give the player, the more variety in terms of going to like massive to infinite. You know, I mean, they offered a lot in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, but they need to offer more. You know, instead of they have like 200 things you could do, you can have like 1,000 things to do, 10,000 things to do, all the way to infinite. Keep on pushing it. To tell you the truth, the only games I really play is just Grand Theft Auto 5, and that's pretty much it. I mean, like, I think if they push the graphics in terms on the other games in terms make because to tell you the truth, even like on the PS4, Xbox One, like on the UFC game, their bodies look great, but the faces you can tell just doesn't look realistic. They need to push it even more. I could tell, like, I mean, the bodies look great. For some reason, obviously, Bruce Lee looked really good. I mean, looked really realistic. I don't know why the other fighters didn't, but it's kind of strange. Um, but now the NBA 2K basketball players look really good on there. I guess it's just some games. But then again, not it's some of the games that came out. Like those 3D games. Those there's first person games. It still doesn't look realistic. So some of the like the characters and the environments, they need to even push it further to get that realism. Because the more realism they get, the more involved, interactive the player would be. Especially me, since I've been playing since Atari 2600. I've been in the game for a while. They need to keep on pushing it. So like if they do another Metroid, they need to make everything, the environments, very real. You know, the more realism, the more interactive the player will be, the better it is. And especially even when you have a 3D TV, the more immersive. I have 3D TV, and it helps. But if you have the graphics even more powerful, the more immersive the experience. I'm not sure why the Oculus Rift. They should have like a virtual reality headset you could just put on, just take it anywhere and pop in a game. Like any kind of a game that's catered to that, or a game that you can transfer from your PC to the headset. That would be true virtual reality. You don't have to sit down near the computer and use the virtual reality. You could use it anywhere you want. That would be amazing. That would take it to the next level. That would be really good, really awesome stuff. Think about like Google Glass, but in virtual reality games you can play. And I bet actually they're probably gonna offer like Google Glass games, and actually you would have that feature in a way. We didn't necessarily have to put a game in the headset, or you could just choose from the headset. They've always tried virtual reality. I remember I used to actually buy the virtual reality a long time ago, like this headset. It had a virtual reality, but it wasn't true virtual reality like in the movies, like Lawnmower Man. It was you had to use your console. It wasn't a virtual reality headset where you could just pop in a game, and experience the whole virtual reality. That's gonna take off huge. They need to do something like that. That would be amazing. Shit, I should be in the marketing industry. Come up with all these ideas. um, so so that's not, I mean, yeah. Obviously, the next gen systems has very great potential, as you can see in NBA 2K4. Players look very realistic, but some of the games just still. Some people think they can't tell the difference between last gen and next gen. In some games, they just like some of the driving games. It's just it could look even more realistic, but it just didn't. Some. Like if you watch Need for Speed, you really couldn't tell between PS3 and PS4. I mean you could tell, I guess, but it's still not like mind blowing, different. But what they did in Grand Theft Auto 5 was huge. The online, very awesome, very good. They just need to add more cities, have infinite cities, infinite guns, infinite clothing. I mean, the more, the better. We need to keep on pushing it. They need to put more maps in there, more variety. Keep on pushing it. And I guess the Grand Theft Auto 6, in terms of graphics, you're gonna have to make it even more realistic. It's the problem is the characters. You can tell they're. We need to get to a point where you can't tell from real and imaginary, or very slight. I know maybe it's going to be a while till you can tell, but maybe not, because NBA 2K14 the characters look very realistic. Um, but I guess we're quite not at the point where you can tell where there's real person and fake. Like these first person games, the shooting games, you can tell is just environments don't look so real. You can tell it's still it's and the character models. Battlefield Field looks very good, and people say that's like the best looking game for the PS4. So there's potential, but the thing is, the way they use, each game has different operating game engines, graphics they operate on. Like Battlefield 4 has like I don't know what engine you called it. Each game has a different engine, different people, so you utilize the graphics. But like if they do the Resident Evil 6, I want to see really characters that look real. It doesn't look cartoony. Doesn't look like a video game. The facial animations look real. Everything looks real, and they need to keep on pushing the graphic quality. That's my only complaint, I guess, on next gen systems. But it's not all games. There are some games you can tell that are really impressive in terms of graphic quality, but not really all. Some of the first person shooters is just some of the games. Driving games just doesn't look as real as you want them to be.